welcome to my channel Dev Online. In this tutorial of JavaScript, today we are going to learn JavaScript functions. What are functions, how we can use this function, and how we can customize this function, how we can call this function, what are parameters in functions. We are going to learn all of these in this video today. Let me little bit explain to you what function are doing. So basically a function is a group of reusable code which can be called anywhere in your program. This will be eliminates the need of reading same code again and again and again. It really helps to programmers in writing modular codes. Function allow a programmer to divide a big program into a number of small and manageable functions. If you saw so many other advanced programming languages, JavaScript also support the feature necessary to write modular code using functions. You must have seen function like in our previous videos, alert, write, parentheses we use, and we are using these function again and again, but they had been written in a core of JavaScript only once. So basically JavaScript allows us to write our own function as well. So this video I will explain how to write your own function in JavaScript. So before we use a function, we need to define it the most common way to define a function in JavaScript by using the function keywords. It's, I have a special word of function, which is you telling to the JavaScript a function. And then we have to give them some unique name of function, and then we can define a parameter of list, or you just parameters how many you want it. And after this, statements, which is surrounding by curly braces. Sorry about that. Let me give you some examples how basically structure of function. So for the structure of function, first we have to call function keyword. So this is JavaScript, no, this is function. Second, we have to name function. So like I'm just giving example function name. So this is function name now. So JavaScript knows whenever call this name as a function, so this function will be work as a result, whatever the result of this function. Now here we are calling statements. We telling to the function what we are going to do in this function. And in this parentheses of function, we calling parameters here, like how many parameters you are want to give them here, how many variables. For example, you want to give some variables, so you can separate by commas and you can use here. Now let me show you some of example how we can create function, how we can make function. So here is one function I'm going to show you, like a function of adder. If you want to add some values, so let me give you some this example. So if we have value x, y, like I told you, we are going to separate the values by comma parameters, and then here we are going to statement. So for now I'm just as a sample, we say console log, and we want in the console log we want to see x plus y and plus z. Now what we have to do here, we have to call this function which we create with the function name of adder. Why I name adder? Because I want to add the values of this. So here I'm calling adder, and in this adder we need to define his value of x, y, z. So I'm calling here x is 1 and y is 2 and z is 3. What do you guys think? It's going to be work? Absolutely it will be work. So let me go to the in the console log, and after in the console log you can see here x plus 1 is none. Let me check it out where we are wrong here. It's not going to do. Oh yes, I just in a hurry basis I just add a plus here, so it's not be 1 2 like the same value of function we define here, the function name in the parentheses parameters. by comma, so we just calling here because we already say plus y plus z in the console log. And also you can guys alert with the same way x plus y plus z. You just have to define so many values. You can see if I want here again adder, and again I want to say 2, 3 and 4. Let's check it out. Oh, sorry, let's check it out how it looks like. Sorry about that. And you can see this page says it's 6, and this page it says again 9 because it's two time function we define. So one alert came for the 6, and the second alert came for 9. Okay, and now you can see also in the console log x is the first one is 6, the second 9. So like this you can use this function with the different values of adder anywhere in your programming. Anywhere in your programming you can use the same function again and again with the different values. Let me give you with another example of return. If we use the version that return its result, what are we gonna do with this? So simple, I'm going to show here. Let me remove from here this console log, and here I'm just calling return statement of the JavaScript, and the return you can use like this in the bracket or without bracket. You can also write it. So I'm just using this. Let's check if we can use with this or not. We will be know about that. So I'm just close with the semicolon, and down here we have to going to define one variable which is called result, and then I equal the result, the value of result. Actually I call this adder function, and in this adder function of parentheses we have to define the values of it. So I'm saying 1, 2 and the 3, the same value which we are already defined. Now if you want to see the result, so we can do by alert, and in alert I'm saying result. So like I told you, there is so many ways the way you want to do with the function dealing, so you can deal it. Now I'm again going to, so this page says 6, the same variables, the same adder function, just with the return keyword, the return statement we use, and the same answer. So many way you can use these function. Now for example, we need to multiply, that takes 3 arguments if we want to multiply this. So let me just change the name of this multiplier, so spelling may be correct. And here I'm also calling multiplier. No need for this. Okay, I'm just going by another way, whichever way you guys want it, so it doesn't matter which way you guys want it. And here I'm saying like the before first one I use it console log, and the console log I'm saying here x, and then start word y, and then start again and z. Let me little bit clear so you guys can see here correctly. So I just say multiply 1 into 2 and 2 into 3, the same value of x, y, z, and just return the value with multiplier. If we go now the page, let me remove this and refresh it, and you can see 6 again come, because 1 into 2 is 2 and 2 into 3 is 6. Let's create one another function which is called isString, and it will be takes 3 arguments which is x, y, z, the same. So let's see, isString is basically very good example. Just watch how is gonna be work. So I'm calling here a function which is called isString xyz, and then the bracket start. Let me remove for now for this so you guys can see actually. Now is strings, now we, if each argument is a string, using type of. If each argument is string, it will be not that. So we have to define some if, and then we call type of, that's a one of JavaScript thing, and type of x, and then we say equal 3 times, and then we call here string like this, and again we say and second value come, so we again say type of y, and same equal equal, and then we again call string. The same way, third value for the and z equal equal, then sorry, we have to write type of, I never write. Okay, so here type of, so type of z, and we call also here string. So now what the function we're gonna use here, the if function. Now I'm calling here console log, console dot log, yep, they are all string. This is our console log. If we call this function, if any one of them is not a string, it will not that else. So we have to give him else. So this is the console log. Sorry, I have to write here the object basically, and this console log come in the if function. Let me remove from this here. You know, sometimes you're doing, you forgot it, it's a coding, so you always have to take care of what's wrong with it. In the else we call here console log. In the else statement, we already learned about how we can use if and else statement. So in the else we say no, I don't believe these are string. Now you can see we call a function in which is string. We have to find is string or not of 3 values in which we created. Now this multiplier I have to remove, and we have to call this function execution, how is gonna be work. So for this, what we gonna do? We say is string. Now we need to define the is string value, because we say type of x equal equal string. Everything is called string and the else is not. So after the function, when you come up here, we call first function is string. Our function is string, and then we give him this. In the first value we say okay, this is string Ahmed. Second I'm saying bad, and the other I'm saying monkey. Oh, let me give him in a string. Wait. So this monkey. So we call here is string, and then down here is string. I'm calling to way and street. Wait, let me put in a string. Now we 2 times define. You can see here is string and is string, so they will be considered console log 2 times. We can check now how is console log show us. We're going to by inspect and console log. Now you can see here why I 2 times did, because you guys can know where is string and where is not. So the first say yep, they are all string, and the second say no, I don't believe these are string, because the first value is coming 2. You can also check with the function with the loop through and check by one. It's a separate thing, but I'm just giving you the function example, how the function you can separate an if and else statement used inside in the function. So we already called type of string all. If there is a type of string, so show us all string. If there is no, so we say no. So we already defined two types of value. One is else and the one is um, all strings. Now let me give you one more example that you guys can easily understand. Vowel checker. If we want to check a vowel, vowels, letters, how we can do that? So let me create one function in which I'm calling here vowel checker. In the vowel checker, just one argument I'm giving using here x and then bracket. So vowel checker will grab the first letter character. We have to take out the first character. So we say variable and we call here first character. The first character equal to the x, the one we value already defined, and then we need to we calling here to lowercase. We want to become the lowercase first, and then it's a lowercase function, and then we say char at, basically char at, and char at here we calling 0. Then check if that first letter is vowel. So now we have to check this if the first character is vowel or not. So here we calling if, now here first character, the one we defined to lowercase, already defined it with the x, and here I'm calling a. There is the yup or function, like before we use and now this is another one, or it will be check everyone if there is. So and or have a different, and use the first character after this all is wrong, if there is another is right, but they have to check in the or. If this is not, go to the another one. Then we go to the first character again and calling here e, because a, e, and another word of first character, I. These are vowels letters, so I. And then if I call here first characters e, and another is I think o, sorry, yes, o, and let me put in the another line, and then I say u. Yeah, this is one of vowels later basically. So we define vowels later if these letters, the vowel letters, it will be, it will log that. So console log, we have to console log first. Now, oh my god, the first letter is a, is vowel. We have to console log if there is vowel. So the first letter console dot log, and then here we say okay, just calling by omg, the first letter is a vowel. So this is if there is vowel, and we wanna gonna define some words and which are vowels. So let me give you one the else also, where we're gonna, if there is not vowels, so what should be happen? So we say if there's not vowel, so console log first letter, I'm sorry, again I forgot to put in the string, first letter is not a vowel. So what we are doing here, basically we have some of words here in which we have to check in this words have a vowel letters or not. So like here is vowel checker. Now we have to define the function of this, and we have to give him the values of what we want to check it out. So I have one eek, this word. If I have, if I need in my program again and again check, so I just have to define where is na. If I have one more word which is called vowel checker, let me give you one more, Ricky. So what this function gonna do? First, they took to the lowercase, the first word. Second, they're gonna check out the first character, because we say first character of the word you choose. You're gonna check out the first character. If there's a, e, I, o, any of our vowel words, so tell us, yeah, this is the first character of letter is a vowel. Or if not, so tell us there is no vowel letter of the first. So we check in the console log now. So you can see here, first letter is vowel, and then another two, first letter is not vowel. You can see here, N is not a vowel letter, Ricky is not a vowel letter, so that's why here is E is first letter is a vowel. If there is a, why I use two lowercase, because if I'm writing in the capital, it should take out the letter and put in the lowercase. So this is how we use functions. We can customize function, we can uh, calling function. I hope you guys understand the function methodology. If you guys have any question, please comments below and likes my video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you. See you in next video.